What's up YouTube? I am James the Movie Critic and welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and if it's your first time, I'd like to invite you to subscribe below. Today I'm going to review Fox's final bout with the X-Men, The New Mutants. The New Mutants is about 5 teenagers who try to come to grips with their new superpowers while staying at a secret facility, which is ran by a mysterious doctor. Though their doctor says she is there to help, everything is not what it seems. So this movie was supposed to come out in 2018, but it was originally delayed because the director was allowed to have time for reshoots because Fox wanted him to be able to capture the creative vision that he had in mind. It was then further delayed because Disney actually purchased Fox, which we all know about at this point, but that pushed the film's release back another 2 years, making it Fox's swan song with the X-Men franchise. This is a completely different take than we're used to seeing in the superhero genre, as it rides the line of suspense and even dips its toe in the horror genre just a little bit. Something about this movie felt familiar. It feels like a group of kids who gets thrown into detention, and they're all from separate social circles, and they somehow develop a relationship despite their differences. Add superpowers. It's basically a mock-up of The Breakfast Club, but they're mutants. So now I want to jump into the character breakdown. Let's start with Dr. Reyes. Dr. Reyes is played by Elise Braga. Some of you may know her from Queen of the South, which is an amazing show. If you haven't watched it, you should check it out. And she is the mysterious doctor who runs this hospital to help the mutants control their powers. She has this boss that she keeps referring to, which at first the movie leads you to suspect is Professor X. And if you see the movie, you're gonna think, there's no way Professor X has approved this bedside manner, because the accommodations are not accommodations. They're basically in a prison, and it doesn't seem like a place that Professor X would put them. I'm gonna leave this mysterious man a secret so that I don't spoil that portion of the movie for you. However, most of you could probably guess who he is. Next, we have Danielle Moonstar, who the story essentially surrounds her life and what was going on with her powers and how it affected the rest of the teenagers around her. She had some sort of psionic powers, which give you the ability to warp reality through your thoughts or through other means. And this was one of the characters that for me just fell flat. The actress who portrays Danielle Moonstar is Blue Hunt, and I don't know her from any other role, so this was my first time seeing her, and I didn't really love much of what she did on screen. It wasn't bad, but it never left a mark. There were other supporting actors and actresses who were carrying the movie when I felt like it should have been on Danielle, who was essentially the main character. Next, we have Sam Guthrie, who was easily my favorite character out of the group in the movie, and he is portrayed by Charlie Heaton, which most of you know from Stranger Things. He actually played a teenager from the state of Kentucky, and his southern accent was more than convincing. I really believed everything that he delivered, and he carried both the action and the emotion of the movie, in my opinion. Next, we have Iliana Rasputin, who was portrayed by Anya Taylor, which most of you know her from Split and Glass. And typically, I really enjoy this actress, but I felt in this role she was trying a little too hard. She had a foreign accent, and I feel like it made it hard for her to deliver on the character that she was portraying. Now, her bad dialogues aside, her action scenes were phenomenal. Both her powers and the way that they had her stunt woman in place, everything that she did on the screen during the battle scenes and the fights were really spot on. So, the final question, what is it that I wanted to see in this movie that was not there? Now, one way or another, all of the teenagers had their nightmares or their past come back to haunt them. And that covers every character in the movie except for Dr. Reyes. So for me, I would have loved to see the doctor's history, something that haunted her up until this moment that would have been a battle for her to overcome as well. And besides that, I wanted to see who this mysterious man was. Now, in the movie, they kind of reveal who he is, but I would have loved to see a cut scene or a flashback to Dr. Reyes and that man having some sort of conversation, or maybe when he placed her over the hospital and appointed her to that position. That would have been a great conversation for the audience to see. Overall, I am not sure that this is a story that needed to be told, so I have to give it a 5 out of 10, and I would suggest not to buy a ticket and to wait for it to be streamed and watch it at home. Again, thank you so much for watching my review of The New Mutants, and go ahead and drop below what your thoughts were on the movie. Are you excited to see it, or are you just gonna wait for it to come out on a streaming service? And don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.